Now at 10, details about a crash investigation involving a Newton County Sheriff's deputy. Plus, a Southwest Missouri man pleads guilty to kidnapping a Webb City woman. And Joplin residents get a chance to learn about a ballot question aimed at improving police and fire department retention.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Joplin Police Major Crash Team investigates an accident involving a Newton County Sheriff's deputy. This is KOAM News at 10. Authorities say the deputy's SUV collided with a motorized bicycle, sending its rider to the hospital. Serious condition. The crash happened shortly after 2 a.m. near East 32nd and South Finley Streets in Joplin. The officer on the scene says both the Newton County Tahoe and the motorized bike were traveling east. An Oronogo, Missouri man pleads guilty for the kidnapping of a Webb City, Missouri woman. Authorities say Jeffrey Marsh kidnapped the woman and threatened to kill her and her family unless she recanted her testimony in a state criminal case. The woman had previously told police that Marsh had stolen her gun. Marsh pleads guilty to conspiracy to commit kidnapping, being a felon in possession of a firearm, and stalking. In July of last year, co-defendant Zachary Archer pleaded guilty for his role in the kidnapping conspiracy and firearm possession. You can find more information on this case on KOAMnewsnow.com. Joplin police say they're seeing more reports of counterfeit money. As more fake bills circulate in the community, local businesses are being more vigilant, but it's not just local businesses that need to be aware. Counterfeit money has also been reported at yard sales.
Well, what we were told at the bank is actually the $100 bills, the old ones, were actually passing the counterfeit test. And they were saying that the pens were not working, that whatever paper they were using, it was passing the test.
It's important to be vigilant when handling cash, especially large bills. If you come across counterfeit money, report it to the police department immediately. The Joplin Chamber of Commerce today gave residents a chance to learn about a proposal for the ballot that would raise taxes. Voters will decide Proposition Public Safety next month. If approved, it would fund the recruitment and retention of Joplin's police officers and firefighters. It would also add a property tax of $1 per $100 of assessed property valuation. Officials from the city and relevant organizations were on hand to answer questions.
So, if this does not pass on August 2nd, the problem does not go away. The problem is amplified. There is no other solution. We are proposing a plan that will truly address this issue and move us into the future with public safety and take care of it once and for all.
Voters will decide on that proposition on August 2nd. The heat wave continues. Doug Heddy.
Yeah, day number 3 that we've hit 100 degrees in a row. 4th time we've already done it this summer. We average hitting it 2 or 3 times in a summer. 102 tied a record high set back in 2012. Normal high is 90, so of course it's July. It's supposed to be hot, but usually not quite this hot. Excessive heat warnings continue. Kansas, Missouri, heat advisories will go in effect once again in Oklahoma and also parts of Arkansas. A few little clouds have been skirting through, but a few thunderstorms up across Nebraska. This wave is going to actually head toward us later on tonight and cause a few thunderstorms to pop up in our northern counties. Most of us, not any rain, but some of us will at least get a little bit of rain later on tonight. Temperature is still hot, sitting into the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. A little relief in the heat. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
Catch you then. Missouri Governor Mike Parson visited Southwest Missouri to honor veterans. The trip is part of a month-long tour all across the state to discuss legislation, promote opportunities for Missourians, and to learn where state government can do better. This week focuses on public safety and veterans, so he paid a visit to Mount Vernon Veterans Home.
These guys deserve some special attention, and we need to give it to them. They give us the opportunity to be here today, and they give us the opportunity to live under the flag of the United States of America, which stands for freedom for me, and we want to continue that.
Next, the governor is going to visit Ozark Technical Community College in Springfield to highlight public safety actions and continued needs. The Empire Market in Joplin has demolished its old community kitchen and is beginning work on a brand new one. Officials say the new market will be 1,500 square feet. The executive director for the Downtown Joplin Alliance, Lori Hahn, says the new market will incorporate the best of all things local and has something for pretty much everyone.
Okay, the Empire Market is open every Saturday, 10 to 2. It's free to the public. It's a great place to come in and get all your produce, all your baked goods, coffee, some prepared foods, all kinds of good things. And there's always something interesting going on, whether it's gardening classes, sometimes we have alpacas or bunnies. It just depends. Every week's a little bit different.
The market says it's raised $300,000 so far for this project, but needs $150,000 more to reach its targeted goal. Picking blueberries can be a family tradition, but for one local family, well, the tradition is coming to an end. After 8 years of growing blueberries and friendships, the Robertson family farm decided this is going to be the last year. Family says maintaining 2,000 bushes is a lot of work, and now they want to retire and travel and spend more time with family. James and Sandy want to do something special for the end of their last season by donating all the proceeds to the Humane Society.
The Humane Society, I think, is always struggling, getting enough donations to help them out with their food and other things that people do over there for them. And both my kids who are grown suggested, why don't we donate it to the Humane Society? And I said, terrific.
Nice idea. The last day to pick blueberries at the farm is Sunday. The family has already sold half their crop and hopes to sell the rest by the end of the summer. Coming up, Oklahoma's treasurer announces the state's gross revenue for the past fiscal year. Plus,
President Biden awards 17 individuals with the nation's highest civilian honor. I'm Skyler Henry at the White House with a look at the recipients of this year's Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Liberty Electric is asking customers to reduce electricity. They asked them to do that today. They're going to ask them to do it again tomorrow. The electric company issued a peak advisory for all customers due to extreme heat resulting in high energy demand. They asked to reduce electricity use throughout the day, particularly between noon and 8 p.m. They say this helps Liberty avoid outages and reduce costs for customers. To see suggestions on how to reduce energy consumption, well, you just go to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Overall gross receipts to Oklahoma's Treasury were up during the last fiscal year. The state treasurer, Randy McDaniel, says overall collections for the fiscal year that ended June 30th were $16.46 billion. That's a 15% increase from the previous year. McDaniel reports for the first time in state history, collections from oil and gas production taxes topped $1.5 billion during fiscal year 2022. The figures show Oklahoma's economy is continuing to expand despite inflationary pressure. President Biden today honored 17 Americans with the Presidential Medal of Freedom for their notable contributions. Their work touches on everything from world peace and politics to civil rights and the arts. In a statement, the White House said the honorees, quote, demonstrate the power of possibilities and embody the soul of the nation. Skyler Henry is at the White House with more from the ceremony.
A diverse group of Americans received the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom, at the White House Thursday.
An extraordinary group of Americans up here on this stage that I have the honor to recognize today.
The most recognizable honoree, gymnast Simone Biles, an advocate for mental health and sexual abuse victims.
Today, she adds to her medal count of 32. I know you're going to find room.
U.S. soccer champion Megan Rapinoe has recently been at the forefront of the battle for gender pay equity more than 4 decades after Wilma Vaught broke barriers as one of few women generals in the U.S. Armed Forces. New York nurse Sandra Lindsay was the first person in the U.S. to receive a COVID-19 vaccine, while Father Alexander Karloutsos of the Greek Orthodox Church has advised presidents. Those honored for their leadership on civil rights and social issues include Sister Simone Campbell, Fred Gray, Diane Nash, former Ambassador Raul Izaguirre, Julieta Garcia, and Gold Star Father Kazir Khan, an outspoken critic of former President Trump. The president also presented awards to previous congressional colleagues, former Wyoming Senator Alan Simpson and former Arizona Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, an outspoken survivor of gun violence.
3 recipients, Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, labor leader Richard Trumka, and long-serving Arizona Senator John McCain received the award posthumously.
To the families, I know receiving this award on behalf of their loved one is bittersweet.
President Biden himself received the Medal of Freedom in 2017 while serving as vice president under former President Barack Obama. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
One notable recipient, the actor Denzel Washington, could not attend today's ceremony due to a positive COVID test, according to the White House. The president said Washington will be honored at a later date. A little bit later, how the heat wave has made an impact across the nation, including in one particular Kansas town.
Plus, we could get a little bit of relief from that heat wave. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a hot, humid day once again for us today. Tied a record high 102 degrees, which was set back in 2012, and also our 3rd day in a row that we have hit 100 degrees, which is not something you usually want to do. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, one more day of excessive heat warnings. Kansas and Missouri heat advisories will go into effect once again in Oklahoma and also northwestern Arkansas. And we could use a little bit of rain. Look at the drought, extreme drought, western Kansas. We benefited from a lot of rain during the spring, but we are drying out, getting a little drier once you get in south central Missouri. So that's something we want to watch as we go deeper into July. All right, look at our highs today. Northern counties, mid to upper 90s. Most of us hit that triple-digit mark, so very hot. It was very humid. It's still hot. Actually, look at our temps, anywhere from 85 in Lamar, 87 in Miami, 90 in Anderson. We have 87 in Chanute. Humidity is up. Dew points measure how much moisture is in the atmosphere here at the surface. When you get into the 70s in the summer, it makes it feel muggy to soupy, so kind of right at the top of the scale. And that's why we still actually have a heat index, 92 to about 95 degrees right now. Outside 7th and Rangeline, 88 south winds at about 10. Humidity is at 53%. Few little clouds kind of skirting through the region. Besides that, we're nice and quiet. A few little thunderstorms northern parts of Oklahoma. Our little wave, southern parts of Nebraska. This could fire up a few little thunderstorms after midnight in our northern counties, mainly north of I-44. Not that many of us are going to get rain, but at least we have some slight chances kind of passing by, and then a couple other little guys popping up 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. We'll have some morning clouds and then partly sunny skies, and then we start to heat up again. Mid-90s northern counties, upper 90s to near 100 mid and southern counties. But look at this. See these little blue arrows? That's a cold front. That's going to actually roll in late morning. So what that's going to do for us is start dropping the humidity late in the afternoon. I still think we're going to be very hot, high temp at 99, but at least we're trending in the right direction. Tomorrow night, a cooler night or a more comfortable night, lower 70s, and then check out Saturday. High temps, lower 90s for highs, and we're not really going to have much humidity, so it's actually going to feel pretty good. Heat indices are still going to be way up there once again tomorrow, approaching 105, especially early in the afternoon. These will start to kind of trail off late in the afternoon into the evening hours. 99 tomorrow, 92 Saturday, 97 on Sunday, back to 101 on Monday. We hold into the mid-90s most of next week. We do have some rain chances on Tuesday, but even though we break the extreme heat, we don't have any days that are below average in the next 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
And for the most part, dry. At least the humidity will be down a bit.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks, sir. And right now, nearly 80 million people across 17 states are suffering through some of this dangerously high temperatures. It stretches from the central and southern plains to the mid-Atlantic and southeast. Meredith Wood has the latest.
Sweltering temperatures striking legendary musician Carlos Santana on stage in Michigan. causing him to collapse during his set after he was overtaken by heat exhaustion and dehydration. Santana soothing concerns, posting a short message to fans on Facebook stating, "Thank you for your precious prayers. Forgot to eat and drink water, so I dehydrated and passed out." In Kansas, the heat has turned lethal after an apparent heat stroke killed a recently graduated Dodge City High School wrestling champion.
I think I got to continue to work hard for Damien. You know, I got to
carry on his legacy.
Yeah, for sure, carry on his legacy.
Searing heat soaring into triple digits Wednesday. Dangerously hot heat index values reaching as high as 115 degrees, in some spots stretching from the central and southern plains to the mid-Atlantic and southeast. In Northern California,
it truly does feel like a war zone with the air tankers, helicopters, the jets, the DC-10s, and other aircraft.
On top of oppressively hot temperatures, people have been forced to flee their homes as the fast-moving electrifier engulfs the landscape, threatening hundreds of structures.
Just kind of keep our fingers crossed and hope the weather cooperates and that we make it through this okay.
Now, typically, the average high for this area for this time of year is about 90 degrees. The new antenna is at the top of our tower. We are still broadcasting right now from the temporary antenna a little bit lower down as we transition to that more powerful transmitter. That's why our signal remains a little bit glitchy for some of you, at least from time to time. We are working on correcting that. Weather is a bit of a factor, wind in particular, but when this is finished, we're going to be broadcasting with more power than ever. Check out the progress anytime on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/power. Jacob here now with sports. The Joplin Outlaws on the road tonight against the Sedalia Bombers.
The Outlaws trying to stay on top of the Mink League South Division. We're going to check in on that one. Plus, Player of the Year honors for a Southeast Kansas softball standout. We're going to hear from her on the award after this. The Joplin Outlaws are 14-15 overall this summer. They're in first place in the Mink League South Division, just a half game ahead of Sedalia for the top spot. Now, tonight the Outlaws face the Bombers, trying to stay on top of the division. This one actually still going in the 10th inning. It's all tied up at 9. Max Bruff is 2 for 4 on the night for the Outlaws with 3 RBIs. The Kansas City Royals finish up their 4-game series with the Houston Astros this afternoon. The Royals won Game 3 last night 7-4, but they've dropped the first two of the first 3 games of the series. So Kansas City trying to earn the 4-game split today. Nicky Lopez, liner up the middle here, scores the first run of the day. Royals out front. Into the 5th. It's now 2-0. Little defense here from Lopez. Good stop. Great stretch over there at first from Vinny Pasquantino. Kansas City would hold the lead till the bottom of the 5th. Jose Altuve gets a hold of one with a man on. 2-run homer ties the game up. Then just 2 batters later, Houston takes the lead. Yordan Alvarez, other way for the solo home run. Home team goes up 3-2. They would add a couple more to beat the Royals 5-2. National League here, the St. Louis Cardinals close out a 4-game series with the Braves tonight. Cards try to avoid the 4-game sweep and a 5th consecutive loss. This one was a battle. It went to extras. Both teams scored in the 10th, so they went to the 11th, but the Cards win 3-2 with a Dylan Carlson RBI single in the 11th being the difference. Northeastern State University introduces former Crowder head softball coach John Sizemore as the school's next athletic director today. Sizemore was Crowder's head softball coach for the last 8 years. He was also the school's athletic director for the last 7. He led the Crowder softball team to 403 wins and multiple region titles. Now here's Sizemore on what he will miss the most leaving Crowder for Northeastern State.
That small town, little atmosphere out in the middle of nowhere, and literally pick up the phone and you can call your local news and say, we got something coming up tomorrow, and they jump in their car and they run down there and they run with it. Just that people helping people, small town community atmosphere. I think that's going to be the same here. I believe it is. I see it in my heart. But so many good folks in Joplin and the Neosho area, just so many good folks.
A Frontenac High School senior Heather Arnett is the Sports in Kansas 3A softball player of the year. Arnett had a monster season for the Raiders. She hit for a .667 average with 10 doubles and 3 home runs. Arnett also finished with 70 steals, helping the Raiders claim the 3A state championship in Manhattan. how she finishes her career with a state record 161 steals. Now here she is on finding out she was the 3A Player of the Year.
I saw my name at Player of the Year and I was just so excited. My mom and I couldn't believe it. Called my dad, called my grandparents, called my aunts, called my whole family and told them how excited we were and the exciting news and everything. It means so much to me. I mean, there are so many players, even just on our team, that could have deserved this, and other teams too that we played. It's an honor to be named 3A Player of the Year. It's so exciting.
And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take some time now to honor a local veteran. Richard King served in the U.S. Navy from 1966 to 68. His hometown, Joplin, and we're proud to salute Utilities Man, Petty Officer 2nd Class Richard King, a 4-state hero. Folks in Joplin, come out to downtown for another art walk. Organizers say since July is the month we celebrate our independence, this month's art walk was focused on the freedom to be an artist and express yourself theme. So local businesses put up art pieces that fit that theme.
Just felt kind of stagnant, if you will, creatively, and so I just started painting, and it's been really fun. I've been able to do a lot of things locally. Kansas City, I was selected as one of the artists for the Kansas City Parade of Hearts artists that was just completed here this year, so it's really kind of taken off for me.
Downtown Joplin hosts art walks the first Thursday of every month. Okay, it's hot. It's been hot, but we're getting a bit of a relief.
Yeah, but let's be honest, it's going to stay hot.
Oh, that is brutally honest.
It's just, what level of hot are we going to be?
Yeah.
99 tomorrow, 92 Saturday. That's probably the best day in the 7-day
And the
forecast.
humidity is going to drop a bit, so it'll feel a little bit better. Final sports notes.
I told you about Heather Arnett. She's a Pittsburgh State signee. She'll join the Gorillas in the fall. You can check out our full story with her on being Player of the Year on the sports page on our website.
Seems like a very gracious winner.
She is, and she's very fast.
I believe that. Thanks for joining us. We have to get out of here pretty fast, but the morning show starts at 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.